In this video we will identify issues of active and passive violence and crime against seniors. Also we will discuss the solutions as designers to reduce the potential for violence and crimes. Violence against senior can be a vital issue in our communities. To understand the importance of this issue we are going to look in more details into the numbers of the victims in our society against both gender. The numbers of victims is getting increased. In 2020, there were 389,919 victims of police-reported violence in Canada, 15,157, 4%, of whom were seniors. Note that the rate of senior violent victimization increased 22% between 2010 and 2020, and rate increases were observed for both women, plus 18%, and men, plus 25%. And also illustrate the rate of crime for different ages of seniors against both gender, women and men. The increase since 2010 for this age group was driven almost. According to police-reported data, more than 6 in 10, 64%, senior victims of violent crime were victimized by someone other than a family member or intimate partner in 2020, while this was the case for a relatively lower proportion of non-seniors, 56%. Elder people are facing different kind of abuse. Let's take a look at these kinds. First we have financial abuse. Second, psychological or emotional abuse. Third, physical abuse. 4. Neglect, which can be intentional, active, or unintentional, passive. 5. Systematic abuse. 6. Crime and abuse in institutional settings. We are going to explain in details the differences between these kinds in the next slide.
Starting with financial abuse, which is the improper, unauthorized, or unlawful use of an elderly person's resources. Elder financial abuse can be committed by strangers, family members, or nursing care personnel. Some signs include patterns of lost property or possessions, a senior who is unaware of or uninformed about their financial condition, bank statements or canceled checks addressed to parties other than the elder, alterations to a senior's power of attorney or financial accounts. Next, psychological or emotional abuse. The following actions are examples of psychological abuse: yelling, ignoring them, scolding, shouting, insults, threatening, inciting fear, intimidation, humiliation.
Research showed that as many as 50% of Canadians over 80 reported feeling lonely, but now the sense of isolation is heightened.
What we're hearing from seniors in the community at this time is that they almost feel forgotten, actually.
Also physical abuse, which is any purposeful use of force that results in physical harm, pain or incapacity. Most elderly individuals are weak and easily overcome, allowing others to injure them. Moving to neglect, when a person who has care or custody of a dependent older adult fails to meet their needs, allowing an elderly person to live in filthy or inadequately heated conditions, denying access to necessary services, such as homemaking, nursing, social work, etc. Also elders face a systemic abuse. The institutions that emerge within society can create, condone, the most common form of discrimination against older or sustained elder abuse. How can we as designers protect our seniors? And what kind of solutions we have?
Actually, architecture has a great influence in improving violence and crime among elderly. The space in which the elderly live affects them mentally, physically and emotionally. One way to reduce violence, abuses and crime among elderly is to build communities, improving features in the washrooms like providing anti-slip floors, closets with adjustable heights, providing handrails in the walking paths to prevent falls, clear entrance.
Where it has a clear path, no hidden area so nobody can hide around it. It should also be provided with lights and
To ensure seniors' safety, especially when in-person care is not possible, internet-enabled security cameras, particularly those with two-way audio or a two-way monitor for elderly care, are a helpful method to check in. They won't be connected to senior monitoring centers like dedicated packages, but they can still be used to warn carers about falls and other issues using motion detection push alerts, and audio detection. Sensor or smart lights would be very beneficial for seniors' safety against crimes, as they will not feel alone and they will feel secure with sensor system. Smart light bulbs can illuminate hallways and stairs to prevent falls. Plugs and energy systems can recognize and shut off stoves or space heaters that have been on too long. Smart lighting keypads can turn select fixtures on and off automatically at certain times of the day, for example, even activating hallway lights at a dim level to make nighttime trips to the bathroom or kitchen safer. Installing a panic device could also help, like other security system sensors. Panic devices come in a variety of shapes and sizes. In sections of a home where they are most likely to be used, both hardwired and wireless devices can be installed. For instance, installing a panic button on the wall behind a bed is typical. Without sounding any sirens, the button notifies the central station that assistance is required. Knowing that there is probably a medical emergency, the central station will be ready to call for assistance. Or using smart pendant or watch, which can follow up with senior movement and sense them in case they need help through fall detection system. This feature can save your smartwatches from falling, as it automatically alerts your emergency contacts during a hard fall. Also, there's the speaker of a security system. Two-way voice monitoring enables a central station dispatcher to interact with the homeowner directly. Homeowners can communicate their needs without picking up the phone if the panic button or burglar alarm go off. Finally, we have the assistance of a security guards helps to monitor every movements going around. Every activity that takes place within a business premises is also monitored. Man guards also pay attention to faces and report people they think are suspicious. Guards also provide the police with reliable information about suspects during the investigation of a crime. In conclusion, every one of these abuses requires a different approach. We must categorize the abuses in order to identify a suitable response. By enlisting the aid of the community and raising awareness of these crimes and violence, abuses like emotional and neglect can be controlled.